Well, people, we like to play a lot of games, So, just a brief outline from 2002 to 2009, you know. I don't understand why, y'all doing all the things you're doing, considering the fact, the amount of time that I've had to do on cases that you can't even prove. That's in the wrong place too. So sorry about that. So basically, this all started because of a 2002 case. This is the 2002 case, right here. And prior to them doing the hate crime, my brother's name wasn't listed on the same page as mine. After they did the hate crime in 2017, they put his name on the same page. So a lot of this stuff is set up, okay? And this is, so when they tell you that I have some type of issues with, no, I don't. This is what the relatives did themselves with the people who was doing this against them. This is not anything that I would ever set up or be any part of with nobody. So this is not of my doings. Again, this is the 2002 case that they've been using in the public, in the Black Lives Matter platform throughout DMV, claiming that this case involves my daughter, Shania Michelle Hill, in Prince William County, which it does not. So, again, as Jules Stroman was trying to tell you about this case, many of you don't know anything about the case and just decided to be a part of a hate crime to target someone. So basically, you don't know anything that's going on. You don't know nobody that's involved in the case, the victim of the case. You don't know anything. You're just, you've been told something and you're repeating it as children do, not like adults. So I don't want to make this very long because I want to get you, I want you to be able to get through this within at least 5 to 10 minutes because this is a lot of years. So I want to show you exactly how they do these type of things. Now, this is the second case that they set up without my knowledge, without telling me. So again, Jewel Stroman, DC Black Lives Matter advocate. This is not the charge that I pleaded to. I pleaded to abduction because, as you can see, I had two co-defendants who was claiming that they abducted someone with me, which they did not do. So again, let me say that. I have two co-defendants who are claiming they abducted someone with me, which they did not do. So again, Jules Stroman, I had to plead to abduction. I would not have pleaded to abduction if I already knew that the person that I was actually involved with the abduction case with already had a trial and it was dismissed. I would have went to trial because what they would have had to explain was, when was these two people with me? And what witnesses that seen these two people at the Dumfries location with me, with Contrell Higgs, and left the location with me, which did not happen because they was not there. So again, this is what happened when people misuse the justice system to target people. You don't find out what's going on. So you're harming someone's children based on what? Because regardless of whether I did it or not, I did a decade of time. So I'm confused on what anybody is going through anything about, because the only wrong things that is happening in this situation is to me. It's not like these people charge me with a legit case and this is the legit things that happened. No, it's not. That's why all of these black people are allowed to use the system and move up, Because at the top of this, these are white millionaires who have been building these wonderful careers off the poor blacks and minorities in the community. So again, this is what I'm saying about people just getting involved in things. So, y'all could take your time yourself and go back and zoom in. I'm just gonna, put it here slowly so that you can, and this is all public records. So there was no point in time that anybody was keeping any secrets from me about anything. I was already fighting this in the background. So this was not something that I wanted to create issues with the people in the community about at all. So that wasn't the case. The government was wrong in what they done. So this was on April the 6th of 2007 when I was released. This is me with my daughter sitting on my lap and me talking to Betty Betts, which is my oldest brother's baby mother. So this is the day that I came home. I was actually incarcerated and violated within a few months by August the 21st of 2007 by Kathleen Hedges. Sentenced to 18 months and had to serve 2 years and 3 months in Prince William County with no criminal charge for refusing a polygraph. Okay, so these things, for the 2002 case. So now we're already getting close to 8 years now, okay? And no, I do not have any criminal, and that's the other thing. I do not have a criminal conviction on my adult record prior to the 2002 case nor after. So it's very frustrating for people to try to make you into a criminal based on you standing for yourself with people who claim to be street people, because I'm not understanding how any of this involves. This is all the legal system, and you're not informing. So how are you involved? That again. So I just want to explain to you how the years and time helps to solidify things and set things into place. So in 2009, I get back out in 11/19/2009, and I returned back to my daughter. This is March, actually, this picture of 2010. So this is Shania, and if you look at the dates of these pictures, my sister Tania, Nia Von Teese, Carol Major set up social media for my daughter, and these are the type of pictures that she was taking. So you can see the dates stamped on the bottom of the picture, and this is at 10:54 at night. So this is not the type of things that I do. This is not the type of stuff that I'm with, or none of that. So the year before at this very time, my sister was mad at me and had my other sister to call me on the phone. And this was right after she lost her children to DCCFSA and had to move out to Virginia. So when y'all play games like this and you're dealing with somebody, because what DC wants to do to assist you all is to label me bipolar 2, and with manic episodes now, there's something severely wrong with the government being able to do that, due to the fact that there's years of history of things that you're doing that is very traumatizing, very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? All of the things that you're doing, and none of these things do I ever have any manic episodes with you to harm you. Yet all of a sudden I'm just having these episodes within agencies, not in the community, nowhere else, only with the people that's assisting the government. It's not something that's, it's just weird, that, you do things like this. But if this is what y'all are doing and you want to deny your own constitutional rights and you want to start this journey and path, and you think that this is change and black, the first black this, it really doesn't matter if we're having the first black this and the first black that, and you're doing that by denying all black constitutional rights. We're in the same cycle. So, whatever. But this is what was going on. So as you can see in the pictures, and all of these pictures of Shania hair is natural hair. I do not do relaxers. So this is all her natural hair when I grow it out from them relaxing it. So you can see when I first get her back, because we had this conversation, she was tripping about these braids. And she was really like going through it. And I was like, well, Naya, your hair is very damaged. You know, the relaxer, whatever, it needs to it needs to come out. And, you know, she didn't have hair around the edges at first. So I grew all her hair back. So this is all her natural hair. Although she's wearing it out every day, it's her natural hair. This is not a relaxer. Okay. So, there's no time of day that I wasn't taking care of Shania. This is how, like I said, my daughter look all the time with me. I do not neglect or take care of myself before her. And this is prior to my son again. This is in 2009 and 2010. Okay, so this is when I come home. This is us at the Holocaust Museum in D.C. During the summertime. So a lot of things that you think you know about me, you don't. That's why when you were speaking on children, you didn't realize that my daughter was already grown, that she was no longer a child in the form of a minor. So you didn't know what you was talking about. And during that 2002 case, Shania was only 2 years old. She was actually 2 months from being 3 years old. So again, Shania was not involved in anything, did not know anything. Everything that she knows about the case was told to her by relatives. So that's not the case at all. Shania wasn't involved in anything. So again, when it comes to, you know, us creating these stories and stuff about, you know, what's going on and what's happening. Now, as I told you, this picture is in March of 2010. It's actually, I didn't put it in there. I just have a duplicate, but it actually has my god sister and Tasia's sister in it as well. This is the picture. It's just cropped like this because this is the picture that was on my University of Phoenix profile picture, and it was too big with all of us. And at the time, I didn't know how to do the things that I do now because I wasn't a IT student, so a little different. But anyways, this is 4th of July in 2010. So, you know, when y'all are speaking on my daughter and things like that, you don't know what you're talking about. This is Shania. This is me struggling, working. When I finally got stable and Shania finished her 6th grade year in Bevel, Shania came to live with me. So that's my baby Taji. Now this is one of the pictures. This is us. This is what I'm saying. The picture was cropped because it was on my profile. This is one of the pictures. We had like 3 or 4 poses. So I have these pictures on my website. And this is me in 2010 when I cut my hair. Because I cut my hair in 2009 when I came home. This is me, Naya, Finky, and Taji. We're in D.C. out here. So they used to stay with me a lot during the summertime. I used to have all my nieces and nephews. These are my little babies here too. Jelly was something else. Like, I have a picture of Jelly, and that's when he was, oh yeah, they were at my house this day, because I got the pictures of them, and Jelly over there tripping, but that was my man. He was something else when he was little, man. Jelly was so funny. And so I don't really, like, the only disagreement that consisted or had anything to do with my siblings in 2010 is at the end of the year when you see those photos of my daughter on social media insinuating totally the wrong, inappropriate things. I did say something. I was very upset about it. But when you come from a dysfunctional family, you know what I'm saying, my aunt ran back and tried to make it like I was talking about my sister to her, and this is what my mother, when I said something to my mother about it, because I talked to my mom about it, and she was like, yeah, that's why she didn't deal with her like that, same type of stuff. But I understood that, because when you're a kid, you don't understand. When you become an adult, you see behavior. So there's no, oh no, I don't do this kind of stuff, and I'm this type of person, and I'm caring and all this. You're like the devil in disguise. You're always doing evil things, trying to figure out ways to maneuver things to have it easier or better in life for yourself. What you do to other people just don't matter. So it is what it is. So again, this is Shania with me all through 2010. So I'm working full time, and this is where the 2002 case is first used concerning Shania Michelle Hill, concerning that case being used to target my daughter. And I was reading the email the other day that I had wrote to the letter that I had sent to the people at the company, and I can understand how they felt like, I was just, when I was speaking about the children, that I was just speaking about like my kids and just my family kids, but I care about all kids. So I don't believe in doing things to harm no children or being parts of those types of things. So that's just bogus, but it's cool, not a problem. But this is where that initiated from. This is where this first came up. And as I go through the year, this is at the beginning of the year. So this is when I was doing the strip parties and stuff with my sister. But the problem with doing this with Tania, as I said before, because I would have built her a company, I didn't mind at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against the adult entertainment industry. I'm not against any industries. My thing is when you start mixing this with children and it becomes inappropriate and there's just too many things going on that I'm not comfortable with. The kid thing, I'm just not doing. Okay, I really don't like dealing with adult industry and anyone under 21, and I don't like when this is promoted to younger girls and becoming like a household thing for them to do. I don't want any parts in that. So I just decided to do my own thing and be done with it. So as you can see, I got back to my own grind of working. So let me see what these are. I guess nothing then. So this is when I started working for online companies. This is where I started learning about affiliate marketing and stuff like that and different things. I even did sales and everything. So this is when I started getting back to finding a job. So as you can see, every day posting, and this is what I'm doing every day. Now, because I have so many of these, because I have so many of these emails, I didn't put every last one there, but I would do like 25 to 35 jobs a day. So I had several emails, resumes for different positions and stuff like that. So what I did was I did all the data entry jobs that I could do, got all the skills and experience that I can get. And sometimes because I took jobs that wasn't really that great as far as the companies or people or whatever, I wouldn't get paid. But I really did not care as long as I got experience and skills. So I was just kept on grinding, kept on pushing, doing what I have to do throughout the year, until I got a job. Once I got a job, I started looking for rooms to rent because, as I said, I'm taking care of my daughter full time. I'm the sole provider for her with no employment. So I can understand that the informants thought that that's why I had money, because as you can see, I definitely was taking care of myself and my daughter. But I worked and I have a lot of skills. I do hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people are tripping. Like, I be grinding. I'm not even joking. I really do be grinding. And because I meet people and I have a great personality and I'm honest about what I can and can't do, people give me opportunities. So when they gave me opportunities, I took advantage. I worked in a hair salon for a while. I've done all types. I'm telling you, I've done all types of jobs so that I can get on my feet and do what I have to do. And this did not come overnight. At some stuff, I really, really failed. I'm not even joking. I failed and failed and failed and failed and failed over and over again. So as I said, I started looking for rooms to rent once I started finding employment. Okay, so in 8/15 for 2010 of this year, that's when I found employment. And as you can see, I started looking for rooms to rent. So once I found a place, then I'm back to looking for jobs again while I'm working full time, because my schedule was Monday through Friday, but I also worked on the weekends. And my dad used to take me. He was like, do you ever take off work? I was like, no, I need the money because, like the bills was just rude, and taking care of my daughter was expensive. Naya had, she didn't go without anything. That's why Naya was so spoiled. No, she didn't go without anything, but Naya also did wonderful in school. So for these people to create a background that me and Shania had some type of difficult relationship, no, we did not. This was something that was done by the adults with this child, because there's no difficult relationship at all with me. All of these, from the time I'm released till they incarcerate me, my daughter's with me. She's not being abused. So by August 11th of 2011, I was enrolled in Westwood College. Okay, so on 8/30 of 2011, that's when Andre Hines did the police thing. On 3/28 of 2011, the beginning of that year, that was the indictment with Carlin and Leland. Okay, so let me put this in order. All right, so that's 3/23/2011. Now at the and then 8/11/2011. You know what I'm saying? I'm in school. I'm still through all of these things that I'm going through. I'm fighting to stay in school, to work, to do all the things I need to do. So, in spite of what anybody tells you, no, I didn't do all of it. I didn't go to an Ivy League school, but I didn't sit around doing nothing with my life. And that's not what happened. So let me show you how we're pushed under, and it's made to look like when you do understand what's happening to you and you're telling them how it's flipped around, that you're mentally unstable, and that's just okay to deny all your constitutional rights and target your children, right? So this is Shania on the church retreat. So throughout the year, and then I filed EEOC. We do the mediation. That was it. Everything with that is finalized. That's done. We go through the end of the year. So this is me in school, as always. This is all my school stuff and, stuff like that. So you can always, go back and look at it. This is just different assignments, what I'm doing. So you can see, this is day to day, every day. And all of these are not in order because I just don't have the time. And these ones with my father's name on it is because not only do I take care of all of my stuff, but I also take care of all of his stuff for him too when I was out there. So I do both of these, and I help my grandmother, and I do this for other people that I'm friends with, other people in the community, and people pay me to do this. So I do not do the wrong things. I do not misuse their information. I do not share their information. I do not use this if I get upset, if I'm not talking to them. These are not the things that I do. So I don't know where they got all of this weird stuff that they have going on. But when you target me for something and you're a group of people telling the public something, don't ever think that I'm not going to be like, whoa, and show receipts. Oh, yes, I am, because I know what I do. And that's point blank, period. I know what I do. So if I made some type of mistake or I've upset somebody with what I said, that has nothing to do with none of this going on. Nothing. It shouldn't. Because if it do, then that means we have a lot of incompetent people in play in our government who are mentally unstable and should not be in their jobs. Because what you're talking about is really some childish personal things. This is our real life, our legal background, things that these people are documenting that are false, knowingly false. So again, that's why I have my dad's stuff. But as you can see on 3/12/2012, this is in the wrong spot. So as you can see right here, this is the empowerment group that I'm doing at OAR. And this should be in 2011, although it finishes in 2012. So this is actually 2014, which should be over here. So I told you some of these are not in order, people. I really do have a lot on my plate. So we went through that 2011. So this is 2012. And through the end of 2011, I was pregnant with my son. So in May of 2012, I had my son, Kimante. And this is, I made a makeshift couch where I made him a bed and a desk where I can work while he sleeps. Because Suge was very bossy and he demanded to be held. So mommy holds him. No, I do not let my children cry. None of my kids cry. They're all very happy and spoiled. So it is what it is. Me and my sister-in-law, we have that in common. I don't like babies, letting babies cry. But he does cry. He did have to cry, but not cry like waiting for nothing. No, he didn't cry when he woke up to eat and stuff like that. He didn't cry. No, he already knew that his milk was coming. It was because he never cried as an infant at this age. Plus, I knew his schedule. All of my kids had a schedule. They had a schedule in my stomach. They had a schedule when they came to the world. And I just stuck to it. It made my life easier. And, we worked together. So that's how that went. So that's my makeshift couch in my living room where I worked at because I couldn't work at my desk. So I had to make this couch on the floor so that I can hold Suge and do my work. When my grandma saw that, she just thought it was too funny. But that's what I would do. And he is really knocked out. And yes, I am really doing my school assignment. Not even joking. So this is different concerns, financial concerns. So me being aware that all of this is happening because of the 2002 case, I have to do everything through the system. I really can't branch off. If anything goes wrong, everything goes wrong. And they'll be able to use any and everything that they make up against me. That's not the case in this case because I stay interlinked with them because they kept, because of the illegal things that was going on. So, and I'm not talking about with the informants. I'm talking about with the government agencies. So don't get lost on me. Yeah, that's not my business to track their illegal activity. The government already tracked and have all of their illegal activity. So nothing that I told you about them wasn't anything that the government did not know. Cut it out. Okay, so I guess these was pictures that had my little makeup things and different things that I was doing during that time. So this is what's going on, and of course I'm taking care of my dad's stuff too, but at this time we're going through a major struggle. So I'm about to leave the residence that I'm at. So that's another problem because it's very difficult to get stable out in Virginia based on all the things that they're doing. So at this time, once my sister-in-law helps us out with somewhere to stay, this is when the federal indictment is right after this. So I'm just scrolling through so you can see the different things that I'm doing. So yeah, I'm a full-time college student. That's why when I was released, I graduated with my associates. I had been incarcerated twice while I was working on it, so that was the holdup. So this is just me and my different little stuff I've been working on so when I say that I've been working on building websites and technology things for a while, this is it. I've been doing it for a while. I think I started in 2010, and I guess I just love it. I do. I love learning anyway, so it's awesome. So this is just my school schedule and the classes and stuff. So this is at the end of the year. This is the incarceration by the federal for federal and drug indictment for failure to register. Right now, as you can see, for people who's talking about somebody that's in the streets. Like, I don't know what y'all are thinking, but this is a lot to do. This is a lot to take care of 2 kids where, like, this is not like you look like this on Easter and Sunday, and then the rest of the week you're bummed out and nobody's taking. This is every day. You know what I'm saying? That's involvement in activities and programs, and I mean everything. So this is your blood, sweat, and tears. Where do I get the time to be in the streets with anyone? Because I'm confused on which one of these years through here that I'm involved in the streets. But when you're hell-bent on doing something, you do extreme things. And that's what happened in this case. You did extreme things, okay? Because unless you equate the informants and everything that the relatives is doing, none of this should be going on. So again, in 2014, same thing. Miss Harvey, I'm already working with a program. This is March 12th. I'm already back in college. And I'm already violated. Yeah, already. It's not even, the man came and visited me on December the 19th of 2014 and told me to slow down. I'm doing too much. And then violates me a couple of months later, not even 2 months later. So, I mean, come on, people, cut it out. Like, this is real. This is really happening. This is not a joke. This is not someone who is manic, having manic episodes. This is not bipolar. This is really happening. So if you're enduring and you're going through all of this and your background is being made up so that all of this can be done to you, what do you have to look forward to in life? Because this is used to target my children. This is used to prevent me from working. Due to the fact that I am really a good person and people in the community have gotten to know me and willing to, bend over backwards to help me in a lot of situations, I've been able to fight and stay afloat. But what I'm saying is, why should I accept someone doing this to me when I have to go sit in prison because of something they can't even prove with any evidence that I've done, but they can do all of this? And it's none of this is so it's a crime if you're not affiliated with the government. And it's not a crime when you're affiliated with the government, and it is crimes when you're not affiliated with the government. So if I was affiliated with the government, I could commit crimes on the community. I'm confused on how this thing works. Yeah, and it does make you frustrated. Yes, it do, because it's your life. So again, people, the whole reason of showing you this is to see how, because the federal probation officer was so bent on keeping us, on violating me, he couldn't incarcerate me. He decided that he wasn't going to assist with housing. So right here, where we're living in this house, and the house goes up for foreclosure because the owner dies that we're living with, and the family was doing all the kind of wrong stuff. His son was doing all the kinds of wrong stuff. So again, when these people took over and bought this property, they was willing to do anything to work with me, to assist me and keeping the property and keeping me and my son in the home so that we wouldn't become homeless. So in 2015, while they was planning the things that they was planning against my daughter and doing them, they were also pretending to assist with completing the things that I would need to complete to become a homeowner. So okay, this one is for my father. That's I have to I think mine was in 2015. Yeah, these are my groups and things like that help with different things, employment, you know what I'm saying? So this is when the issues at my parents' house was going on, and they were very aware of what was going on, and everything seemed like it was targeting Naya, and she was doing very bad, especially with the soliciting and stuff. But I know my kid, like, everything was just so wrong. So this is just the information about my graduation and the process and things I need to do for my graduation when I was graduating with my associates. So as you can see, I come out and I'm right back to business. You know what I'm saying? I'm graduating, but I'm already started my I'm going right into my bachelor's degree. So that's why I only have 3 classes for my bachelor's degree, you know, on my bum beach, like Jules Stroman said. So this is me getting ready for and during all of this going on, my daughter has run away. She's out in the community soliciting. I mean, it's just a lot. The relatives are doing the most in the involvement of this. But again, I never stop pushing because I understand my son needs me and I have to be there for him. I still fought for my daughter the whole time. That's why I have all those police contacts and people I was reaching out to. And as you can see, I did it for years. So this wasn't a thing of, oh, I wasn't reaching out till the child went into custody. I was reaching out long before that. That's why Valerie Winhole was already involved with the family from June the 3rd of 2014 to June the 3rd of 2015 when she became the person on the case when Shania was living with the DSS worker, Rhonda Brundage, in her home based on my oldest brother Kier sending Shania to his baby mother Betty Betts' house to protect her, and then something happening. Betty didn't want to give her back to me, and Shania ends up out in the streets and somehow ends up living with a DSS worker, and then all of a sudden she's sexually abused by her mother on March of 2014. Because first they said March of 2013. So I was like, well, shit, just call the feds and tell them, you know what I'm saying, to verify that I was in prison. Like, that's simple. You don't need to investigate that. I wasn't even here. So then it was like, oh, no, it was a typo. We meant 2014. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Again, call the feds. Simple. I gave them all the federal contacts, Ellen Schultz, you know, Barry Raymond, his supervisor. I mean, I gave him other agencies I was talking to trying to get help for Chanel, all of this. So then all of a sudden, there was no criminal case. This is just something that they're putting on my background to create a history by denying me a criminal case on something that the DSS employee and the CPS employee of the government is doing. Whoa. Okay. So we go on through 2014, and you know, I graduate. I'm dealing with the death of my mother, so you know, it was a lot. So at the end of the month, and I'm telling you, God is something so good, because you see this say March 31st of 2014. So at the end of this month, I had reported because I had already reported to the federal probation officer as well. I'm like, yo, I'm really not feeling safe for my daughter. I'm like, yo, this is really weird. Like, before I left, she wasn't doing any of these things. And then I remember when I got her, you know, she was having all these behaviors and showing all this stuff. So, you know, I'm talking to, but it just doesn't seem right. It just does not seem right at all. So me again, I'm more concerned about my child. I'm not concerned about the adults and what they did wrong and if I should be trying to protect. That's not my concern. It's not. The only concern is Shania. I could give 2 shits. So even when they said, oh, your daughter said, okay, fine, let's go to court. Let's find out everything. Let's do this. No. Nobody wants to do this because this is something all set up to drag me into the case, because unless they have some type of allegation against me, they can't charge me with nothing. So it wasn't an allegation. They actually charged me with some type of abuse or something without telling me I'm being charged, without giving me an attorney, and then turn around and use this as something that happened in the 2002 case. Okay, which was already being used in 2010, but now we're in 2014 going into 2015. So that was in March. I just need you to see that. And yes, those are them 3 recordings. They are exactly it. Exactly what's said. Because listen, y'all play a lot of games in with the dysfunctional norms. But the one thing that I do not play games about, listen, you're not going to play street, federal, / government type of thing with me. I'm not doing that. Like, you commit crimes and you use the government because you know that I'm not rocking that way. But you've already been telling and doing all this. So it's easy for you to just continue on however You know what I'm saying? Okay, I get that's your thing or whatever. But don't expect me to be the person that you do this to, and then I'm trying to worry about keeping your... No, you could have kept your secret and left me the hell up out of your federal street stuff. Period. Because I damn sure wasn't snooping around in your federal street business. I wasn't. That's not what I was doing. So again, because I talk like this, these people going to say I'm manic, manic episodes or whatever, but I don't care, because this is annoying and it gets on your nerves and it's sickening and it's shameful, it's disgraceful. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It doesn't even make any sense for anybody to be able to do anything in 2021 in no time like this. And based on all of these things that they have done wrong, this is what they're preventing me from seeing my son. So I get 1 hour to talk to my son a week because I'm a danger to him based on mental instability with no mental health grounds or findings based on the DC Superior Court, and education neglect, which is denied the due process by OSSI, which is how they consider education neglect, which is totally denied on a child who's not behind in his grade and not educated by public schools. And all of that makes sense. And all of that is okay. This is not a kid that was walking around dirty or uncared for or nothing. This is a well-kept, well-taken care of child. Very polite, very happy, well-mannered. Now he has a background of a severely mental child who has all of these issues, and this is all normal. And the black people can do it in DC, so they had to. But they couldn't do it in Prince William County because they were directly, the white people would have to do it, and that wasn't possible for them to do. So because you're black, you are allowed to do it, and it's cool to do, to deny constitutional rights. And then you'll be walking around the street saying you can't breathe and stop the violence and defund the police. And all of the things that you're saying that you're against is the things that you're doing. Whew. It must be hard being good and decent. Confusing that is. So again, these is just the reports claiming that the family contact is involved with the perversion and the things that the child is doing sexually, and what they and although they're saying this, they're keeping the child with the relatives and things like that, which is everything that's done in this entire thing is all against the law, has nothing to do with any types of laws or anything. This is just, I do what I want. So this is just, throughout the year, I filed a complaint. It doesn't really matter. It don't. Because I filed these complaints and understood what they was doing so early in the game. This is why they needed DC to deem me bipolar 2 with manic episodes. So this is what's this is just what's going on. There's no reason or nothing. They're just denying my constitutional rights, and they're keeping me homeless, right? So I go through the year. And by the way, Jewel, I'm not on any SSI, sweetheart. Not in 2010, not in 2009, not in 2011. Nope, not until 2016, Pookie. So that, again, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So you're talking all fast. But see, these people should pay me a lot more a month, because all of the psychological trauma that I go through, it's not just, oh, you're going through something because you're just crazy. No. It's abuse. It's severe abuse. That's what happens. And many of us acted out in violence and abusive ways to other people. So, that's just what it is. So all of the things that I go through keep me sick, in and out the hospital, all types of things. So you could just check for yourself, since I shared it with you. So again, this is just going through the year, doing my normal things, taking care of things in school, working. Mom passed away, best friend passed away, grinding, filing against these agencies. So we're into 2016, where I'm released from federal and state probation. So this is Jewel, this is one of my other my bum beach things I do too, educate my child. So while I was working, my son was going to school and I was paying for it while I volunteered. So this is the stuff, what I'm saying? This is Del City Christian Academy, okay? So when these people prevent me from working, they're crashing me financially because I'm responsible. See, Jules Stroman, see, this is my son playing basketball. This is his basketball coach. Very, very good coach, Mr. Mike is out in Manassas. I don't know if he's still out there or not. Very, very great coach. The kids love him. And some of these little kids were amazing. Wow, they have go parents, team parents all the way. And these little girls were beasts on this court, okay? So, this was Kimonte basketball practice that he was going to. So this is my meeting, homeless intervention, upcoming, happening up the life. This is church events, different stuff. This is the stuff that I do every day. DMV Housing Connections in Commonwealth, Virginia. This is the stuff y'all had going on after the fact. Joel Stroman, with the things that you was with your DMV Housing Connections, because you was so big on what y'all could do with the DMV Housing Connections. But that's what I'm saying about y'all Black Lives Matter platform and the type of people like yourself getting into these roles, trying to pretend like you're for the people when you're not. You're actually a downfall for the people. And look at all the goofy people that was following you and going along with all the negative and poor choices that you were making. But these are all supposed to be upstanding and decent people that represent our community. But they missed all of that. So, mental awareness is where? Okay, but I'm the one who's bullying and picking. So, Jules Stroman and the Virginia informants, why don't you pull up some posts of me doing this with somebody, anybody, anywhere? Because I guarantee if you pull up something that I'm saying, I'm telling the truth. And I don't have to curse you out or call you a name. I could read you without doing that. Yeah, I can. And I'm sure I did. So, again, in many of the things that I respond to you when I speak to you, even though you may not like what I say, I'm telling you the truth. It's very ignorant. It's very childish. And these are things that say that you don't feel well about yourself. And you don't accept this because we're taught to disregard any type of chastisement or anything that will fix or help us, because that's judging you. Read what you say. Why y'all always shooting, aiming at somebody? It doesn't even make sense. The things that you're doing is crazy. So while these people are saying all the things that they're saying that I'm supposed to be doing, where am I involved in these things at? Which day of the week? Again, I'm working. I have things to do. I have things I'm doing in the community with children. I have my own kid. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life. I have things I'm trying to fix. I have things I'm trying to let go of. Just a lot, because it's life. So at what time do I have the time to sit around while I'm doing all of this, working jobs and running around and trying to pay all of this and get stable and do everything I need to do? When do I have the time to sit around and play in my life? When? Do you understand? You see, Jewel, these are all bills for my son's education, sweetheart. On my bum beach, you know what I'm saying? One day I'm going to try to boss up and be like you. So again, these are the things with the agencies. So when you're totally interlinked and you're doing all the things that you can do, because see, we're sent to DC for housing. For housing. After they remove us from the housing waiting list, after they remove my son from school, we're sent to another state, okay? So after we're sent there, then it's the more of the same things, being denied services and being mistreated and abused for an entire year, just so they can falsify an education neglect case. Now let me show you something, DC. because we're always playing, you know what I'm saying? And you can take your time and go back and look at these yourself. Some of these may be my work because on November, I think it was November the 5th, I have it written down, on the 15th, it was, we was at the DC Council. They took my son's book bag with all his work in it. So I had to remake all of his books again. But this is after I remade all his books, though. Look at all of this work. Oh, hold on, people. Let me pause real quick. So again, I'm sorry about that. So this is my son's work, and they printed out these for us one time, and after they printed them, she told us that they wasn't allowed to print out the worksheets. These are from education.com. Education.com give you a great layout and everything. So based on what Stephanie Thomas had told me from Aussie, basically these were the only things that you know, the little cutouts and coloring and all this kind of stuff. But I just went ahead and used what she said, and used the academic curriculum, you know, and ensured that I had it all covered. So these are his projects. These are science projects that we did for homeschool space, and that's one of our science projects right there, where we made the planets and the sun and stuff, you know, because all of these are requirements for his age group. So we did a lot of stuff where we used you know, mapping and stuff like that on paper. He write on it and stuff, you know. This way we learning who, when, where, what, and how for story plotting. So this is him writing sentences. So this is first grade. This is first grade, and this is he disabled with a speech impediment. So he was way more advanced than this in math. So we had to. That's the point of the computer. It is beneficial. So these are just worksheets where you can see. And so Kimante was doing a lot of work, so there's no way that anybody thought that he wasn't in school, or they seen us going in and out the building all day. All of these type of things is not true. All you have to do is look at my medical records, because while I'm walking in and out the building all day, every day, and these people see me, I can't walk. This is what happens when you lie. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So I'm walking around while I can't walk and I'm sick. I doubt that. So again, you know, these are worksheets, and some of them, you know, have more than one attached to it. So I just open it up to show. And if you can see, like on this one right here, this is Now's worksheet, and we do this a lot. When it comes to some of these worksheets, on the top you see the date 1/8/19, and then you see this date 2/7/19, and then 2/19/19. That lets me know that this is done in a book. So I have this work in a book because I'm reusing this sheet. You understand? So that's, you know what I'm saying? And repetitiveness is excellent with children, especially when it comes to speech impediment. A lot of working with words and reading is great. So this is, yeah, because man, y'all be killing me. Just because other parents may not do it or can't do it, or if they were, you know, poor, they wouldn't be able to. That's not the case. They forced a situation where they didn't want to educate my son, and I refused to let my son fall behind. So I was already doing this through kindergarten. I was already doing this through the summer. So when the school year came back around, I didn't want my son to fall back behind in the school that he would have been enrolled in, because he didn't have a better school to go to, you know. So again, you know, this is his schoolwork. So this is why they denied the due process, because they actually would have had the work to show, because all you need is examples. You don't to show what you're doing every day. And then when they test his education, he's above education level. So that would have, okay, that's fine. It wouldn't have been nothing there. They chose not to do that intentionally to target him. So that is my issue when you misuse the system. It's not like, oh, you did a due process. No, you didn't do none of that. So basically, you've held my son in custody for 2 years based on something you think that you can't prove again. So this is things that you're just making up. And because I'm telling the truth about it, then I'm mentally unstable. So if I didn't educate my son, as Jules Stroman said, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you ask her to post her son's work from first grade to see where her son was at in first grade in D.C. schools? Let her show that she was doing better as a parent, because she had way more. It won't happen. It won't happen. It won't happen with 99% of your DC parents that you're using against me. It won't happen, because parents that care about their children and that can see my son, they understand that no, kids not like that when you're not taking care of them, because that's not how they come out. When somebody's not talking to you and teaching you the right things and showing you the right things, that's not your personality. You do what you know as a child. And my son was a great reflection of me. And that was the point of removing him, because you needed to try to make it look like I was some type of horrible person based on you making up things in the system. And this is all a norm and acceptable. So this is all based on education neglect. And I'm just showing you, for a child. And this is not just like, oh, he has a couple pieces. This is over 300 pages of work. And that's not including the work that's on the computer that he's doing every day in class. Y'all are tripping. There's no way he was educationally neglected. That's why he wasn't behind and above his grade level. So this is all wrong. This is preying on children. And the reality shifting and the playing games and the sickness of this world, I'm so tired of. I swear, you people is just, ugh. Then you get upset when somebody stands for something, but then you claim you want us to stand for something and be about something when you don't. Y'all are sick and messed up. So I'm just showing you, all the work, because all of these things, this is a lot. This is a lot of work. So again, these are the systems that I pay for. So again, he's in the first grade math. He's 93% done. And this is when they remove him. He's 93% done. They move him March the 12th of 2019. He's 93% done. We're at the end of the school year and he's 93. This is the same with reading, and this is the same with science. Language charts, reading and spelling. I just showed you on the worksheets that we're doing. So like, what are you talking about? He did math, he did art, he did there was nothing left out. Everything that them people require, because I looked and I paid for the systems to help me to ensure that I did a good job with my son's education, because it is very important. So when people is sitting there playing games like that with your life, this is his other program, Splash Math. So in 7 hours and 6 minutes, he did 770 problems, and he did 638 correct. Who was not educating their child again, Jules Stroman? Cut it out. Girl, you should really learn how to count if you don't think that's good for a first grader. That is disabled, Pooh. You should really learn how to add them numbers up. So again, like when you're saying stuff out your mouth, you sound dumb. Please look at the amount of books he read. Please check out that number of books. That's not including the books that we get from the library, Jules Stroman, nor the books that he read on other programs. Look at the number. Yo, as a parent, I am proud of that, because that's not fake. My son actually read that many books. And guess what, Joe? He been reading books like that for over a year at this time. So if you ever check our DC library, you will see we be living in a library. So none of our Lego programs where we used to go to Lego group, that doesn't show up because Facebook supports the government. You remember when Trump had the people to turn against the government, all of the social media networks was happy to support the government. But they don't never support none of the people that the government is targeting. Yeah, so be aware. Stop playing all the time. So again, you know, this is what they're saying. He's a education neglected child. So they denied the due process. They denied it. I mean, RC never did a due process. So won't you go read your own laws, DC? Without that due process, there is no education neglect. The reason for that, and education neglect does not allow them to remove a child. That's not. They cannot remove a child on that. But if the child is in immediate danger, which they're saying Kimante was in immediate danger due to my mental health. But this is all the stuff that this kid is doing every day in immediate danger. Happy. Wow, yo. Man, we sick. We just sick. Ain't nothing else to that. We are very sick people. We are very sick. Because this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work for a kid. You know what I'm saying? While y'all playing games. This is a first grader. This is his proper nouns. He's telling you which family which category they belong in. I write down the words and he say which one they are now. A verb, an adjective, proper noun. You see that? This is first grade. They're just now teaching that third. He's just now learning this all over again in third grade based on being in their care. So do you see the setback for Kimante? And all of this is great because y'all want to see our young black girls and our young black boys like Kimante and Shania fail in life. And you're doing it for who? You're talking to me just like a slave. You think too highly of yourself. By caring about my own people and all people, because somebody need to care. These some messed up people. Oh, you think you too good. I think I'm too good by helping other people and trying to do better in life because I realize the sick shit that we doing is just not right. Oh, okay. I'm just saying, man. Y'all be tripping me out. I mean, really. So again, like I said, these are word families. This is vocabulary and spelling. So, I mean, all of the stuff that you have going, this is a first grader. That's why when they tested his education, they didn't use it. If his education was behind, they would have been happy to use it. But it was above, so they didn't use it. So the white lady, Caitlin Rancid, that you hear, you know, saying how delusional I am, all of these people are happy that you blacks are allowing them to abuse and harm us. And you're doing it based on helping who? By denying all of our constitutional rights. And then you're trying to make this look like a street thing when this is totally all involving the government. So again, this all involves Senior Justice Supreme Millette Jr. and Paul Ebert. And in the case of Shania Michelle Hill and Kimante Carroll, all sexual, physical, and mental abuse is due to these two government officials and the agencies beneath them that is all listed on all of these sites and in all of these documents, with the people that collaborated with them from different agencies and departments or states or in the community or affiliations to harm and target a mother and two children. The innocent children that are being hurt and abused is due to the sickness of mankind.